All right, welcome back to the Hook 'em and Book 'em podcast, episode number 2. We're sitting with filmmaker, producer, actor, and all-around badass Jenny De La Fuente. And thank you for being on the podcast. Tell everybody watching and listening a little bit about yourself, where you're from, how you got into acting, and a little bit about your journey.
Oh my God. Hey, Brett. Thank you so much for having me. I'm like really excited to be here. It's always so nice to chat with you. So I'm
Always.
excited to be here with you. So I am, well, Jenny, I was born in Mexico City and I moved to Austin to come to UT, turned 20. I studied theater there, got a degree in acting. And yeah, I've been acting ever since. So I guess for like 14 years, if you count like the moment I started at UT and then like the amount of time I've been here in Austin, you can make the math. Yeah, it's 14 years. I'm also like a Meisner trained actor. I study with Laurel Vouvray, and in the moment, I've been with her for like more than 10 years. It's crazy how time flies. It's like spooky. But yeah,
Yeah.
I've been with her for a long time and I love her. Her class is great. Uh, yeah, so I guess that's it. I mean, when I was a kid, I don't think I did that much acting. I always loved it, loved performing and everything, but I didn't take like necessarily like school, like classes or anything. I just knew I
Right.
wanted to do it. So I dive into a college degree in
That's
theater.
super cool that you didn't do any acting at all and you just
Mhm.
decided on theater was your major.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I mean, maybe I took like classes like on and off, like a weekend workshop or something like that, but it wasn't like years of like after
Right.
school programs. Well, we didn't have a theater after school program in my school for
Okay.
starting there.
Okay.
So there wasn't that. But I always been like a performer
Yeah.
and I tried different things. I tried dancing, I tried modeling. And then I tried singing, and then I tried theater class, and I was like, "Oh, this is it.
This is
This,
all of them. This
yeah,
is all of them
this
rolled
is
into
this
one.
is what I like." Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's
Mhm.
that's super cool. I didn't do any. I'm same. Did you have to audition for your to get into the theater program or
No, not for UT. Thank God. I
wow.
think I was the last, and I say thank God because that would have been so nerve-wracking. I think I was the last class that didn't
Okay.
have to audition. After me, everybody had to audition. I mean, I had to do like write the paper and the tests and like
Nice.
all that kind of stuff, but I didn't have to audition, which was it was good.
You're just
Yeah.
like scoop.
Yeah. I'm like,
I'm in the
okay,
class
this is
now.
great.
No,
Yeah.
that's great. That's great. They
Yeah.
did they did a good job. They let the right one in. So,
Thanks.
do you remember your first audition at all by any chance?
Yeah, I
What
do.
was it?
It was for a play at
Okay.
UT.
In
It was
person?
for in person. It was for Some Girls by Neil LaBute. It was my freshman year in college. Like I think I had been there for like a month. I was taking acting one, and my teacher, Jeremy, he was going to be directing like an after school, like not part of the curriculum or anything, just like at UT, but not part of it. And he told the class, and I was like, all right, I'm going to audition. And it was great. I actually I ended up getting the part and it was
So
oh
you went first one, first home run.
I
Like
know it was crazy. That hasn't always been the case, but yeah,
that's
the
set
first
that skewed your precedent, your expectations going forward, I'm sure. You're like, oh, this
yeah,
acting thing's easy. I did the
I
one
know,
for
I
one.
know. It's been a humbling journey after that, but yeah, that was a very that was a very like oh, it was amazing because it was such a good play and like the people that I work with all like it was one guy and other three actresses and Jeremy directing. It was just so fun and I was playing like the oldest one
Okay.
in like it was like a role for someone that was meant to be like in her 40s and I was like a freshman and literally everybody else was a senior, but I guess I had something like in me at the moment that was kind of like an old soul, I
Right,
guess.
right.
Yeah. But it
Or there
was
was like
great.
a backdoor deal where they're like, the seniors were like, we don't want to do it, so
Yeah. I'm
we're
like,
gonna make
I'll do it. I'll do it.
hazing, we're gonna haze her in.
Yeah. It
That's
was
funny.
great. Honestly, it was so fun.
How has your man, I miss in-person auditions. How has your audition process evolved since then, if it has at all?
Yeah, it
Obviously with
has.
self-tapes versus or just your personal internal process.
You know, it's a journey. It really is a journey. Um, because there's been times in my acting career where I felt more in my skin, and there's times where I felt more in my head. And that
Interesting.
I feel like that really affects auditioning in a way. In
Hmm.
like the roles that I've been able to get, there's something like almost going into it, like intuitively, I'm like, oh, I have a really high chance of getting this. Like, I really think I can get this.
Hmm.
And there's others that you're just doing it for the numbers, and you're like, well, maybe there's something I don't know that they know, but
Yeah.
but and it's also where I'm at within myself too. Like, um, am I overthinking things generally in life, or am I like in a state where I feel like confident?
Right.
So it has really been a journey. Uh, I feel like every audition is different, to be honest.
Yeah. Now, I'm personally
Yeah,
to what you're talking about is if I'm in a not so great mood or headspace or kind of like in a rut part of my life,
yeah.
that will significantly affect how you draw a character. And
Hmm.
obviously, if you're in a sad state of mind, it's tough to do comedy. It's
Yeah.
tough to do the fun things. But for
Hmm.
me, luckily, it's weird. I've found that my auditions are somewhat mirroring where I'm
Mm.
kind of at.
Whoa.
And it's very interesting. Like,
Like you're manifesting your character.
I don't even know if it's just like, hey, this is where you are right now. And it's
Yeah.
it's been very, like you said, humbling in the sense where,
Yeah.
for example, for all
Yeah.
those who don't know, I was
Yeah.
in one of your films
Yeah.
and I was graciously cast. We'll get into that, but I want to say that the fact that like at that time I had longer hair, was a
Yeah.
little bit skinnier, and I was just new to Austin,
Yeah.
just hoping to get on board somewhere to meet people.
Hmm.
And there was no lines. It was just like, hey, show us your creepiness and all that stuff. And I was like, okay, well, this headspace right now, I could definitely do this right now.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. How was that experience for you? Because that is like a hard one to, I mean, I would assume like show us your creepiness. I would be like, oh shit, what?
so for everyone, she's a great filmmaker, and it's a film called Somewhere You Feel Free. You can check it out on YouTube, and actually, hopefully, we can cross post these
Oh,
podcasts so you can
yeah.
check out. I'm actually going to show a clip of it
Okay.
right now.
Okay.
I got it.
Well, okay.
Come, Coco, come on. Coco, go, go.
What do we have here?
Yeah, we're just,
Y'all look like fun.
Mom. Martina!
What are y'all doing out here today?
Okay.
I got it.
And then now we're back. So I'll cut that in. But um, I auditioned for Jenny to be a creepy man in her film based on a true life experience. I'll let her tell you in a sec.
Hmm.
And I just I've played a creepy guy in other films before. Um, so it was just kind of like, okay, well, just be really creepy and depressed and just kind of lethargic and whatever. And
Yeah.
it's really
Yeah.
interesting. I get all these, unfortunately, racist, creepy men things, and it's been pretty humbling to read the character breakdowns. Even as you get older, when you submit, you're like, oh, I could
Yeah.
25. They're like, no,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. I know.
like, yeah,
And
bro,
that
like
is
maybe
so humbling.
45. Like, let's do
Yeah.
45. Yee.
I
So
know.
for everyone who doesn't know, tell them about Somewhere You Feel Free. And do you prefer acting or writing, producing? Which one do you kind of
Mm.
prefer, or if just depends on the mood that you're in?
Uh, Oof, that's a tough one. I mean, acting is like my first love, honestly. That's where like if I'm watching a movie, that's what I'm paying attention to. Like if it's a character-driven film, I'm like, I'm in it.
Hmm.
Uh, I think acting is like, yeah, my first love. Um, but it also depends on the project too. I
Hmm.
mean, I like writing and producing the roles that I'm gonna act.
Fair enough.
That for me is
It's also a
like
smart way to do it.
the whole because I just get so like excited about it. It's like I know I'm like it's something that I'm excited to do, you know? But there's also like some like things that I've auditioned, like for example, like the some girls that we were talking about that I'm just like, oh, I really want to be in this. Like I just
Mm-hmm.
want to be in it and I just want to act and just do that, you
Mm-hmm.
know? Um, Producing I think comes naturally for me. Like I just think it's part of my personality. So it's something that I've learned to grow into and to appreciate and love more. And I now I really like it. Um, but that wasn't like the first love. I think writing, always done it since I was a kid, always writing stories, acting. Like I would actually like going back to like childhood a little bit, I write scripts and invite my friends over and we would film it at my ranch. And there
Cool.
would be like horror films, which I haven't really done one as like me written one as like a grown up, but yeah, like I've always liked creating something and getting people together and like let's just do it and also being in it.
Right, right. Tell me you still have that footage in those films, please.
I think I still do. I could probably find it. Yes.
I
I
would
need to
love
ask
to
my
see
mom, but
those. I would
yes.
love to see those.
I know, me too. I was
Right.
just talking to my best friend. She just moved to Austin from Mexico for like a few months and we were talking about it. And she's like, I need to see this footage. I'm like, me too. Me too.
Yep. I wish I did my first film in eighth grade too, and I
Yep.
wish I don't have the footage because they're, long lost footage, but I emailed my co-producer that did it with me, and he's just like,
Yeah.
man, I wish we could find it. I have no idea where it was. It was super cool, but just to see
No.
how that's evolved, and
Yeah. I
speaking of
mean,
that,
this one very like me with a camera, never doing cut. I was like in fourth grade, just like
right,
following and my brother being like scream and like killing us all. Like,
it's just so erratic
yeah, no
everywhere.
editing, just like a full
No,
like,
but
yeah,
it speaks to it though.
yeah,
Anybody with a camera can be a
yeah,
filmmaker. You
yeah,
just want to have to tell stories with a passion. And
yeah, exactly.
and that's
100%.
that's the coolest part about acting for
Yeah.
me. Like you said, if there's a character you just I grew up in front of the camera, like right here, in front of the television, just like, who is that? And how
Yeah.
is he doing what he's doing? And why am
Hmm.
I captivated by this person?
Yeah.
And you said it
Yeah.
perfectly. When you watch a film, what you're specifically watching is kind of what you're drawn to.
Yeah.
If I'm
Hmm.
watching, it's funny as you said that, I go, I've evolved to looking at the lighting. I'm looking at,
Yeah,
okay, how are they, that
totally.
cup is not in the same place
Mhm.
as it was in the last
Yeah.
shot over
Yeah.
over
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. Oh, the
Who
hair
messed
moved.
up?
Hmm.
Starbucks.
Hmm. Yeah.
So
Sorry.
it's very interesting that you say that. So
Yeah.
tell everybody about Somewhere You Feel Free and how that journey, because you acted in it and you wrote it based on what?
Hmm. Yeah, totally. So, I mean, like many of us, I too had this like moment of like deep self-reflection during the pandemic because we just had the time to do it. And yeah, there was just like a lot of thoughts going in my brain, a lot of like, what am I gonna do? Like what is going to happen with the world, everything with my career. And for the longest time, I had this very limiting belief that I was just going to be an actress. Like you can only take one lane. Very like old school. I feel like that was
Hmm.
like an old school kind of like
Hmm.
advice that people just kept passing on. Like
Hmm.
let people know you for like one thing because they cannot comprehend otherwise. I'm
Hmm.
just like, okay, that's kind of strange. Like, why wouldn't they be able? But okay, I'll buy into it. But I always
Sure.
felt like it's kind of weird.
Right.
And then during COVID, I was like, you know what? I'm done with this. It feels so powerless to just be an actor for me. I want to have an agency about my career in a different way, not just like sending auditions and hoping for the best and just getting all this no's, 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 all that, so many no's. Yeah, it's so true. Like the no's are real. And and so I was like,
Yep.
well, I've always liked writing. Why don't I get back into it? Just kind of learn the format and just figure it out. And so I did that, and I I did a bunch of like screenplays that I still have them on my computer. I haven't read them ever since, but nothing felt right. Nothing felt right. And then this experience happened with me and my mom on my birthday. And it took me like a few months to realize, oh, this is it. This is something I can write about. And this is something that I feel very passionate. Like I am someone that really values like agency and like freedom and like I have a lot of like thirst for the world, and it's often frustrating for me because I also like I'm scared of the world at the same time.
Mm,
Because like being a woman and just having to navigate that. But I mean, I know it's not uniquely just to women, but in this case, it was like the experience did feel very gender biased. So I decided to write about it and just do it. I'm like, this is what I'm gonna do. And the moment
mhm.
I made it public, I was like, there's no going back. Like, there's no going back.
Right.
So I just like, yeah, just threw myself just cannonball into the water
Yeah.
once I decided to make it public. But before that, it took a while.
Yeah. Well, it was
Yeah,
a story that finally pulled you enough to tell that
exactly.
that you felt I have to tell
Mhm.
this.
Exactly.
Like not only do I have to tell this for me,
Yes.
but the silver lining there is
Yeah.
also, like you said, this
Hmm.
isn't a unique situation to me. Other
Yeah,
people will benefit from me telling this story,
exactly. Yeah,
which is
hopefully
the whole
like
point of
raise
filmmaking.
awareness. Yeah, exactly. Raise awareness, like maybe like give people something to think about, hopefully, like and also like again, not to go back to the same word, but take agency of the situation, you know? It's like I regained control of the narrative in a way.
Right.
And it was like an empowering thing for me. I didn't realize it was going to be that. Like that wasn't my intention going into it.
Hmm.
But as it went on, I'm like, oh, okay. So this thing happened to me that made me feel in the moment very debilitated and frustrated and scared. And now I'm making a movie out of it, kind of like all right, well, it's my story now. I get to
Yeah.
tell it how I want to tell it.
Yeah. I mean, you
Mhm.
you walked right into, for me,
Mhm.
a big thing and one of my beliefs is walking immediately through your fire. And
Mhm.
and that's what you chose to do. You're like,
Yeah,
listen, there's only one way across this bridge, and that's through this.
through the fire.
And that's what acting for me, and I'd love to hear for you, the audition process for me. I've tried to connect with characters as a person I maybe would never connect with this person, in real life. Certainly
Absolutely.
wouldn't act like some of these people.
Mhm.
Um, but how
Mhm.
do I bring this character to life, and how do I relate to this person watching me,
Yeah.
knowing that it's not me doing this, but it is me doing this?
Yeah.
And,
Totally.
and that's
Yeah.
when I was on set with you and David and Sarah and Matthew and all the other Katie and all the other co-stars,
Yeah.
it was super cool to see passion because it was a
Mhm.
story that you wanted to tell, needed to
Yeah.
tell.
Totally.
And the AI films that are coming, sure, there's a place for them, I'm sure, but
Mhm.
what you just said, the relation part, the feeling,
Yeah.
that's the whole ethos of
Yeah.
storytelling and filmmaking is this person, Jenny went through this. She's
Yeah.
relating her experience to you, who also went through
Mhm.
this, and now
Yeah.
y'all are bonded.
Exactly. 100%.
So, so how do you keep in this world of who knows what and in an industry of who knows what is coming?
Yeah.
How do you stay motivated to audition for, either union or non-union
Yeah.
projects?
Well, honestly, Brett, I think it's like talking to people like you and just like staying close to like the community and realizing that there's a lot of people that are equally as passionate and they want to tell the stories and and that's just inspiring. I was just at the
Mm,
WIF fundraiser on Saturday, and I was just talking to all these amazing women and all the projects that they have coming up and all the beautiful things that they're creating. And I left feeling like, yeah, like
that
this is
energy.
great. This is and there's like yeah, there is like this like dooming sometimes like energy of like this industry is the worst and like it's so hard and you're never gonna make it and like and then AI is gonna come and take your job and well you get on one audition a month and it's gonna be for like I don't know like Mayo you
Right,
know
right,
and
right.
you're like, oh my God, I just want to do like nothing wrong with that, you know, like those pay the bills and which is great. But like there is like this like need to like stay creative and everything.
Hmm.
And I recently heard in this podcast, and I was talking to another acting friend of mine, David Harrod, at this event on Saturday, like to almost like stop waiting for permission to just create and act. Uh, I was struggling a lot with that because I really like feeding off other people when I'm acting. Like I feel like Meisner is really for me.
Hmm.
I love it. I love being surprised. I love it when they don't tell when other actors don't tell me what they're gonna do, when they like cross boundaries and I'm just like, oh my God, like I did not expect that. So I was like, okay, when I'm not acting, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? And this podcast and David also, he's like, well, watch like read plays. I have a bunch of plays here and just find a play that you like and build the character for yourself. Don't ask for permission as if you're already casting it.
Hmm.
Like, why not? Or watch a documentary and like figure out a way to like if they were gonna make a movie and you were gonna be in it, like you are already in it. Like, how would you do it? And that's how you keep like your your tools like fresh, but also you fill that creative need that I feel like a lot of actors like we like yearn so bad to have it. We just
Yeah,
yearn it. You know, you're like reading this play or watching this show and you're like, oh, one day I
yeah.
want to be in it. But you can't live your life for the one day I'm going to be in it. Just
That's
it's hard. That's a hard place to be in.
that's a tough place to
Yeah,
stay.
to stay. Exactly.
You could be there
Yeah.
for a moment,
Yeah.
and like,
Yeah.
oh man, like you said, like, hey, I really
Yeah.
connected with the script. I really hope I get it,
Mhm.
but
Yeah.
you got to continue forward.
Yeah. Forget
And
about it. Do
and
your best
that's
to forget about it.
yeah.
Literally.
How that's a great point. How has your casting people helped you reflect on how you do your auditions?
Oh, a lot. Honestly, like I think what I've learned is like the most important thing it is being present with like your reader and just like being like owning your energy. There's and the choices that you made. You can have like a beautiful backdrop, which I do have, and like have good lighting, which is important, and sound, but if the acting's not there, it's not there. And like some of the like the auditions that I liked the most for my new film in Alpha Nova, most of them didn't even have a backdrop, like nothing. They were just like um in the kitchen because the scene was taking place in the kitchen. So they used the whole kitchen. It was almost like I was like watching like a play in a way,
Yeah.
but the acting was there.
Mm,
And others were the same and the acting was not there. And I was like, all right.
right.
And
Right.
but yeah, there
The
was like there
professional
was
background and lighting doesn't matter if you're not
yeah,
connecting
it
with that
helps.
script. It
I
helps.
think it does. Like if you have it, use it. And like, yes, of course. But if you're not connected, you're not connected. And then also like something that I really learned is what's in your control and what's not. Like in
Mm,
your control is to learn your lines, to have your choices, uh, to give it your best, you know? And outside of your control is literally you may not be the right energy for it. Like it literally comes down to that. It's like this audition was great, but wow, energetically, as who you are as a person may
right.
not be the right fit, and you
Or
can't control that.
they might be casting a family and have to put four or
Yeah.
five people together, and you look too
Oh
much like
yeah.
the lead, and
Exactly.
there's so
Yeah,
many
exactly.
factors that go into it
Hmm. So
that
many factors. Yeah.
like
Yeah.
you said, are completely out of your control. So
Yeah.
there's no point in giving them any
Yeah.
headspace.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
I learned that the hard way.
Yeah.
You
Same.
know, I actually, but I learned it. I've learned my lessons in a very direct way, as opposed to.
Okay.
So I was in Charlotte and I auditioned. You know, shout out to Charlotte, North Carolina.
Yay.
I was living in Charlotte for a while, and I
Yeah.
auditioned for Banshee, the show Banshee, and
Mhm.
it's a cool scene. It was fun. It was a gritty show, gritty scene. It was one of my first few auditions, and I was like, oh man, this is like a good show. I could be off to the races right now, and never heard anything back. Obviously, didn't get it. And then like a couple weeks later, I was out at the bar, and my friend introduced me to a guy who was a writer, and I said, "Oh, I'm an actor." And he goes, "Oh, what are you acting?" I was like, "Well, I just did an audition for Banshee, but I didn't hear anything back." And he goes, "What was the scene?" And I told him about it, and he goes, "I wrote that scene." And I was like, "What?" And you're lying. You're lying. He goes, "No." Show me his IMDb, show me everything.
What?
And I told him the scene, and he's like, "Yep, you want to know what?" And I go, "What?" And he goes, "We didn't even shoot it."
Oh,
And he goes, "We cut that because we changed the storyline."
there you go.
And
Yeah.
I was like, "Bro,
Yeah.
what?" And after that, I was like, "Oh, I have no control over anything except
No.
what I put on camera."
There's just so much surrender. And even when you're on camera, right, you might still be cut. Or
Right.
maybe it's like your hand is just your hand.
Just your hand.
You have a line. You're like, finally, I'm the waitress.
Right.
Finally,
You're like
here I
this. You're like,
come. And you're blurred out, You're
right.
like, oh my God.
Uncredited.
You're like, mom and dad, never mind. Don't watch it. No, do watch it, but like, hey.
Right. Just an uncredited
Yeah, you just
guy,
gotta
just uncredited
surrender.
hand.
Yeah.
Um, so it's totally the stuff that you can control, like you said, what you do every day that's creative.
Yeah.
Okay, I love table reads. I used to do them in LA all the time. And for
Mm,
everybody that doesn't know, check out atxselftape.com. There's community tabs, there's news and events, you can submit stuff. I'm trying to make it to where, like you said, if you're in Texas, not necessarily using ATX Self-Tape as a reader or a studio, but use it as like, okay, well, what's going on in Texas?
mm,
Because there is a lot of what is going on in Texas. When's it
yeah.
happening? Is it union, non-union?
Mm.
How have you found your auditions? Are they more frequent now that the industry is coming here, or they stay the same? Or
I would say it's been a weird year.
yeah,
I feel like, well, I mean, has it been a weird year or like a few years? I don't
it's been a
know.
weird few years.
Yes, I would say that. Honestly, I was hoping there was going to be more auditions now that
Yeah,
the incentives passed and everything. But
yeah,
I mean, I think throughout the board, because I've talked to people that I normally like, we audition for the same stuff and they say the same thing. They're like, nope, not much. And then people who are different looks or different gender or
right.
what, and everybody seems to be like, yeah, there's not a lot going
Hmm.
on. So I've been like going on Actress Access just like almost every day, checking what's there, see if there's something that I like, word of mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah, table reads. Like I sometimes do table reads of Wift to check out like screenplays or see what other people are doing and
Hmm.
see if there's something that I like there too. Uh, and then just write my own stuff.
Right. And for
That's
everybody
yeah,
listening, WIFT is Women in Film
yeah,
Texas. So they have an
yeah.
Austin, Dallas, right? Dallas and Houston.
I believe so. Yeah, I know.
Okay.
And I think San Antonio as well, maybe.
Okay.
Maybe. Yeah. Yeah.
But check out the website. I think it's wift.org.
Mhm.
And
They're awesome. Yeah.
female focused group for here in
Yeah.
Texas, which is great. They're doing a lot of work,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
awesome. And yeah, so you have Alpha Nova coming up. And
Yes.
for everybody that wants to go watch some of your work, where
Yeah.
can they find Somewhere You Feel Free and then some of your other work?
Okay. So Somewhere You Feel Free is on YouTube, on my
It's
YouTube
got quite a
channel.
bit of views.
I know. I'm
It's pretty cool.
like, I cannot believe it.
I see the like on our reel, it's like 2, 3 million. I'm like, what? Like that is
Yeah. And
crazy.
then I think we're like, 126,000 on YouTube, which is like
Wild.
when I submitted it, it was on I think it was on a Friday or something. And then I checked on Sunday and it was like 200 and I was like, "Oh, okay. My family and friends and some other people are watching.
Right.
Yay."
My
You know?
followers.
Yeah, yeah. And then by Tuesday, we were like 30K and I'm like, "What happened?" And it was organic. Like I did not pay for anything. I I
I
don't
love
know.
it.
And I took so long to put it up too. I was very hesitant. I'm like, oh, I don't know. YouTube is just gonna get lost. It's just gonna get lost.
Go with your
And I was
gut.
like, well, someone's gonna see it. If it's not anywhere, it's nowhere. Like, it has to be somewhere.
That's that's great point. As a
Yeah,
filmmaker, I was so
yeah.
precious about
Same.
every beat, every minute, every scene. And then
Mhm.
now I'm like, nope, I made it. And then it goes back in
Yeah,
the vault. And it's like,
yeah,
why did you even make it then?
yeah,
So
exactly. It has to be out there.
it has to be out there. So that
Yeah,
motivated me actually
yeah.
to be like a little bit more open about things. I woke up one day and I had like 100 follow requests, and I was like, "What is going? What? Who are all these people?" And then I saw the clip, and I was like, "Oh, oh!" And I was like,
It's
"I
like
don't know
it's
any of these
very random.
people."
It's so random. The followers are random, but like,
So
yeah, it's
random
been
because I have
like
a
a
private
journey.
profile, and so I was like, "You have to approve everyone." I was like, ah,
Yeah.
"Something's going
We're
on."
getting we're getting we're getting like the casting for the creepy man
Right,
followers.
right, right. They're like, "Who is
They're
this?"
like, can I?
But I do love looking back at things
Yeah,
because, for me, those auditions, they're a chance to act.
yeah,
And,
totally.
my job is acting
Mhm.
and
Yes.
auditioning. My job is auditioning as an actor. Like when
Mm.
you get the part and then you get to bring that to life, that's like the Super Bowl.
Uh,
Like that's
yeah.
like, oh
Oh
my
yeah.
God,
Totally.
I get to bring this
Yeah.
character to life. Now I get to do the work.
Totally.
That's when the Meisner can shine and like all this
Oh
stuff.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
like you try to stay motivated, and that's the whole purpose of this Hook 'em and Book 'em podcast is
Mhm.
how do you hook them and then how do you book them,
Yes.
and then stay motivated in between. So you know, in today's day and age, every little bit of motivation goes a long way, especially in this
Mhm.
industry.
A hundred
Um,
percent. And you
what
know what,
what
Brett? Like going off of that, I think like living your life is so important too. As an actor, like I feel like we do grow and get better from new experiences. And one thing about acting that I've really come to realize more and more is how personal it is. And like going back to you, like doing roles like the creepy man or stuff like that. Like every role, you're revealing a side of yourself.
Mhm.
And that is very vulnerable, And I really think like your acting can only get as good as you're able to meet yourself and be okay with like your light and your darkness, because honestly, like because of people like you, we were able to do this film. And and you brought it, like you brought it in, like you didn't play like a phony, like, oh, no, you owned it and you were creepy and like, but it was needed because that's needed to make, then if you hadn't brought that, Matthew hadn't brought that, if David hadn't brought that, then it would have made no sense. It would have made
Mhm.
no sense. And you need to have those roles
Mhm.
for all these stories to make sense. And like it takes
Mhm.
a lot of courage for actors to, yeah, like you said, like I always get cast as the racist, Someone has to do it. And that doesn't mean you are one, but we are a mirror of society.
Mhm.
I mean, I don't want to get
100%.
too like, oh my God, but you know what I mean? Like, yeah, we are
Uh,
exploring humanity and like playing and just putting it out there. And so one of the biggest lessons that I've been exploring is, yeah, to just be really comfortable who I am, dark and light, good and bad. like up and down, and slowly but surely allow people to just see the whole dimension through my acting, and to let people, yeah, be like, oh my God, I've never, this feels so unsafe for me to show. I grew up thinking this is the most horrible thing, or like this is so hard for me, or my body feels unsafe for whatever reason, and just understand why and just go for it, you know? Hmm.
That's a perfect place to leave it.
Yeah.
And I don't have any I second that. I put a button on it and got about a minute left, so
Okay.
I'll that's a good wrap right there, and that's perfect
Thank you,
words.
Brett.
Can't thank Jenny De La Fuente enough. Everyone, if you're listening, like, share, subscribe to Pink Mud Productions, which is her production company.
Thank
Follow
you.
her on Instagram. Where can people find you?
Yeah, on Instagram, Pink Mud Productions or Jenny DL Fuente. Uh, yeah, those two.
Cool. Thanks for
Thanks,
joining me
Brett.
on episode 2, and keep kicking ass, taking names, and breaking legs.
Thank you. You too.
Have a good
Thank you,
rest of the day.
Brett.
We'll see y'all. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and stay blessed. See y'all.